Baking pancakes, making bacon pancakes. Take some bacon and I'll put it
Seth,
in a pancake.
Dr. Seth showed me this, well, he showed everybody this forearm supination, pronation, protraction exercise. He was doing like post-pec tear, basically, so I'll show it to you. It's sick. Fuck, my left arm is pathetic. So this is how it works. You got a band, and the band stretched across there like that, right? So you do like a warm-up, so you grab the single one, and you kind of keep your elbow nice and tucked beside the body, right? And then you can start supinated, and then you protract and pronate, and then come back, right? So it's here. That's like a warm-up set. Then you want to get a little heavier, just use both. Tuck your elbow in. Good 20 of those. Get pronation. Okay, the tough one for the broken arm, this is so fucked up, is supination. So, right, supination's tough, right? So you just go hand down and you supinate, you know? If you forget your supa and pronation, remember, you hold the soup and you throw it away. How do you hold the soup? In soup. Supinated grip. So, you supinate, and then you pronate. Or you pronate, and then you try to keep it inside the pinky too. Don't let her slip. Oh my God. 10 of those, brutal. So today's like an off day. We're going to do, like, it's just pump work, right? It's like supination, and then pronation, right? Pronation, supination. You get every angle. So you get your forearm supinated, pronated, and you get a little bit of protraction, which again, it's like weak right in here. So I get a nice pump in there. You get the blood in there. No blood, no healing. This is what it is. Poor circulation does not lend itself well to a good rapid rate of recovery, right? So get the blood in there. And we had this conversation the other day too. This one's for you, Ashley. So my knees are starting to feel a little bit better from all the damage I did to them earlier this week. So it's time to do some mobility work, and I call Cossacks like mobility exercise for me too, because it's challenging for the joint and it's really painful. But if you don't have the dorsiflexion to basically keep your heel on the ground, go tiptoe. It's fine. You'll get that weight in this, you know what I mean? In this position, and it will kind of lend itself to kind of encouraging deeper dorsiflexion. And look, if there's like limitations, it's bone on bone, or your skeletal structure is just not going to allow it, that's what you got to work with, right? So just work with what you got. Some people are way more flexible than others, and so I've had the issue where you're trying to teach somebody how to squat and their bones aren't the same as yours. Their hip socket's not oriented the same. Their femur length is different. The torso is long or short. You know, the way they like to grip the bar, they're more comfortable in a narrow grip, right? I'm more comfortable in a super wide grip because I don't have the shoulder mobility, right? So it's very variable. So all I'm going to say here is work with what you got and just try to get some nice reps in. Just feel that stretch, come out of it under control, feel the quad, feel the glute, feel the groin. And when you're coming out of it with the bent knee, press with that quad, press with that glute, engage the glute. Do not forget to engage the glute, because then you'll feel it all in the knee. Depends on what you're trying to bias. But don't forget to pull in with the groin on the other side, because that's like 30% of the force is going to be pulling with the stretch side, and then pushing with the flexed side. You know what I mean? So try that. I'll show you. So I don't know what the hell's going on with the crop here. It's bullshit. But anyway, you can see, you know, the TRX, it allows me to take some of the stress off the lower body. This allows me to just put less stress in the knees. It kind of helps me up out of that bottom position. But you can see how I'm up on the tiptoes, and my feet are not flat on the ground on either side, but I get a good stretch in the groin, and I try to push my feet, you know, as the ankles towards the ground and the toes towards the ground as much as I can. But whatever, like, it's just, that's just the mobility that I've got. And
you can put your hips in an angle that you will find your ankle flat, but if you're not feeling like that movement is making any sense for you, I would say just do the motion that makes the most sense for you and is the most applicable for you. If it is hard on the knees, sometimes it's a good opportunity to strengthen the joint in that vector of force in that angle, and going in there once in a while, not overcooking, not overtraining it. That will typically make your knees more resilient to, awkward positions and shear stress and that kind of thing. But, make sure that you can recover from the stimulus. That's all I'm going to say here. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with this. If there's a purist out there and they get upset, let them be upset. There's flat earthers too out there that think the world's flat. Rather, they know the world is flat. So you know what? Who am I to disagree? I squat like this. I do Cossacks on the tips of the toes. Their world's flat, my world's round, whatever. Everybody's got their thing. But just get in there and do the work, I can feel, so on that bent leg, right? Pressing out with kind of the quad and the glute on that side, pulling in with the stretched groin. And then the same thing, I'm loading into the groin and the glute on the flexed side, stretching the opposite groin. And then repeat. And then if you need, pull on the TRX to help you kind of get out of that bottom position. And it should be money. You should be feeling like a nice little bit of a pump. Some decent work, and then if you can kind of transition away from the TRX, which I tend to, that's a perfect place to be.
You got the idea, right? Like if you don't have the mobility, that's okay. You just work at it and feel the stretch, feel the flex. What else can you do? If you got limitations, you got limitations. You got to work with what you got. Focus on what you got, not on what you've not.